The year is 2636. Jar Jar Binks is president, and aliens have invaded to put us out of our misery. But these two mungheads didn't get the message, and they're going to fight the aliens aggressively in Contra III, the Alien Wars. It's a bug hunt on your Super Nintendo from 1992. What a beautiful game. It's Contra. How do you go wrong with Contra? You don't. Contra wins every time, except you won't win, the first time at least. This game is tough. Way harder than the other two that came before Contra and Super C on the NES. This is Super. Wait, no, I'm sorry, it's not Super. It's just Contra 3. They took the Super off, even though it's on Super Nintendo. Those dogs are so irritating. You gotta shoot them with homing missiles. Love this game, but it is difficult. And the tank is great. Backing over enemies is the cure for the common afternoon. Love the additional weapons in Contra 3. I could do without the ultra tricky platforming segments, but I'm never any good at those. If you like them, hey, they're here. How about some big boss battles? Giant mutant alien turtle, anyone? Yes, Contra 3 has it, and many more. Difficult end bosses. We've got some top-down action here, which I didn't like at first. It kind of grew on me. You gotta get used to the controls where you rotate the screen with the L and the R buttons on your Super Nintendo controller. This is a great game, actually. One of the best on Super Nintendo. I was pleased to see that they included it in the Super NES Classic Edition, where it rightfully belongs. This is one of the best Super Nintendo games, I think. Even though it's not one of my favorite Contras. Like, it's up there, I suppose, but I like the first two on the NES better. But this one does have an awful lot of style, and it does manage to retain that thing that makes Contra good. But the level designs just aren't my favorite in the series. I like the backgrounds though, like the giant tornadoes spinning in the background. They're super cool, but anyway, I'm just splitting hairs. Contra 3 is pretty amazing. It's just that it follows on the heels of two of my favorite games of all time. Even though this does add a nice 16-bit coat of paint and some additional unique challenges, like this weird thing crawling up the side of the wall, and here's this boss battle, which reminds me of Flash Gordon, which is always a good thing. Like the other Contra games, this is best enjoyed with a friend, two-player on the couch, simultaneous co-op, slaughtering enemies together. Usually my favorite weapon in Contra is the spread shot, but this time around I like the homing missiles. I should note that you can carry two weapons at once in this game, switch between them. On the fly, you've also got some super bombs, which come in handy during the boss battles. The music is very good, the controls are responsive, and this one packs a lot of replay value because you've got to memorize the levels to get through them without dying over and over and over and over again, which usually happens to me because I suck at these games, even though I like them. Hey, it's like the Death Star background here, with big useless spinning things. It's Contra after all. This is what we expect from Contra. I love the guy's just running out of the door. Hey, there's a guy shooting with a machine gun right there. Let's just run right into him. Oh, my wings. Dumbass aliens. I mean, really, any game where you spin, jump, and fire at the same time, and you can change directions in midair, I mean, that's just a good game. That's a skill that we should all have. Hey, Mark, can you grab me a beer? Sure, but I'm gonna spin, jump, and shoot while I'm doing it. Woo! Work off some calories. There we go. I was awful at this boss battle. And hey, I've got a classic game room. shout out and thank you going to my friend Mark from East Meadow, New York, who sent this to the show a while ago. Took some time to get into it, memorize these levels. Oh, I love this part. Not just because of the like future jet sled, but the future jet sled moves beneath him while he's spin jumping. So it's like he's got the force as well as nice bandana. Then there's this giant thing flying over the highway with laser beams. It seems very impractical, but so cool. It's Contra 3, highly recommended for your Super Nintendo. Don't let Jar Jar win. Classic Game Room has been brought to you by these books on Amazon: Ultramassive Volume 1, Retro Megatreks, How to Make a Video Game Review Show That Doesn't Suck, Ethel, The Cyborg Ninja Jesus, 1 and 2 Pac-Man Collector's Guide, a definitive review, and Ultramassive Video Game Console Guide 2 on Amazon. Welcome to the Patreon Lord Carnage Club, being shouted from a turbo volcano. Michael and Ariana Nelson, Ian Shore, Stephen Chucknick, Al Stever, Rick DeBarros, Jason Goy, Andy Schleiss, Sergio Matthias Hergert, Philip Strabenmuller, Jack Stavris, Ohad Kane, Simon Allen, and Sean Zoltek.